that TV can't. It can't think. It can make. It can do what you tell it to do and program it to do. But it can't do other things, man. It can't think, and still it can see more beautiful than me. I look at that screen and be like, what? That's not how it looks right here. I'm recording right here, right now, and then putting it on the 8K television with an 8K camera, of course. You record it, and then you look at the same thing you just recorded with 3 seconds ago. You put it there, and it's more beautiful than you see it in the flesh. Yeah, keep on staring at that beautiful television. See what happens to your eyes, especially when you're small. Children, at what was it again? It will permanently harm them. Well, according to recent studies, according to research and pretty intensive research too, LED lights are bad for eyes. Yeah, but with children. It's supposed to say children's eyes, right? Because those children's eyes are not developed yet. You can safely, but you shut the fuck up, boy. You see? That's that snake done. Here. A recent study confirmed that activities such as screen time, which require kids to see up close, shoulders some of the blame. LED lighting may, when they say may, you should already know, may what? It may. Really? Why are you still selling it if it may? If it's a possibility, it may. Let me see. LED may add that since kids use their tablets and cell phones to do a lot of things, yeah, whatever, dude. There's an article that you can permanently damage someone's retina, which is that thing in your eye, by the way. That thing here. Permanently damage it because of kids. If they're young. If you're old, you could get messed up too, but yeah. The horrors of working under fluorescent and LED lights. Fluorescent here. LED lights, Sky News. LED lights can irreversibly damage to what? Oh, LED lights can cause irreversible damage to eyes. Experts say. So how come these experts don't tell these people? Woof. You see, they're devils, man. Like that snake tongue is all over the place. Shit. But it can damage children more because their eyes are developing. And yeah, you can read up on it for yourself, but you gotta filter it to these devils. Let me see. Let me see something. Here, there you go. Here. There you go. That's why you shouldn't be going to Google. Google lied to you. Yes. Long-term effect. Possibly harm. Reduce the possibility of using scattered. Okay. Right. So you need to use this when you look up information about certain health effects and herbs and stuff like that. I stupidly still went to Google because I wasn't planning this, but anyway, yeah. So okay, so you just turned on the fire, right? And also when you put on a hot water in your house, let's say you use hot water, a hot water tab is turned. water enters the heater. The water flow sensor detects the water flow. The computer automatically ignites the burner. So guess what? You turn on the hot water, you just turned on fire. Because it literally tells you the computer automatically ignites the burner. Why? Because you put on the hot water. You turned it on. So you just turned on the fire. Water circulates to the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger heats the water to the designated temperature. When the tap is turned off, the unit shuts down. So, cold water go up in here. This is the flow water sensor. It senses the flow of the water. Then it goes in circles. And the heater turns on. Gas is pumped up, fans pumped up. And then the water turns hot. And then it comes out the valve. Yeah. Then it comes out this thing over here. I forgot what you call it. This thing. Right, that thing. So you just turn the fire on. So that's why the Lord said, don't be over righteous, because you're going to destroy yourself. Because now you can't take a bath. Now you can't. Let's say you got to go to work. I would take a bath, my man. So I have to take a bath. You stank. I have to wash my mouth. You stank, man. You got to do it. But if you're at home, then this is possible. This one is possible. But even if I was going on the street, I would not be putting oils and I would not be putting perfumes. Because, wearing leather and any other animal products, I didn't use that anyway too much. But, yeah. I wouldn't 100% worry about that too much. Like I said, don't be over righteous. But if you are able to do it, do it. 17. Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? Right? Don't be too wicked. Now, you can, for example, let's say you are out with the brothers and you haven't seen them for maybe 2-3 years, and one of the brothers or a few of the brothers come on vacation to the place that you are, your country, with the country that you are in, and then tomorrow you got to work, but you want to chill with the brothers because they might be leaving the next day or whatever. And then you want to chill with them. So now you finna go drinking, and then you finna go to sleep too late, and then the next morning you gotta go to work. Now you're late. So now you late on the job, and you tell your guy like, "Hey, you don't know what happened, man. They had some kind of crazy thing going on over there, and I had to stop the car, and something happened." You just lied, but you did it to keep your job. Yeah, so don't be overly wicked, because let's say a day of atonement come, or some holy day of the Heavenly Father, and you just want to keep it. Are you going to tell him that? Or are you going to tell him like, "Hey, listen up, fool. Today is the Passover. You know what I'm saying? So I can't come to work. Fool. Oh, yeah. You're going to see me after 7 days. Buster." And then you storm off. No, you come with some correct stuff. Come with some correct lies. I don't want to teach you how to lie, but don't be just overly wicked. You come with something like, for example, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I just jumped into my head. Right. So sometimes they want you to work on the Saturdays and the Sundays, right? Okay, cool cat. So now, you tell them like, "No, I can't. Because I'm divorced with you don't have to say divorce. I'm split up with my wife, and on the weekends I get the kids. So I want to have full time with my kids." He gonna be like, oh, I understand. I'm gonna go do the same thing. Don't worry. I'll get somebody else that doesn't have kids, and I'm gonna get them to work on the Saturday and the Sunday. And then you look at them and be like, wow, well, that went easy. And then you're just moving on up. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically that's basically not being over wicked, meaning you lie all the time, and you're also over wicked. You see, nowadays females got money, right? Back in the days they didn't, like how they do now. So you can use them, but don't abuse them. If you are able to do your own things, don't take their money. Don't be a demon. be like them. Don't be like a female. Because they take your money. They will. Even though she knows it's wrong. Like, for example, this female. What's her name again? Mariah Carey. I don't know how you spell that bimbo's name. Carey or whatever. Mariah Carey. $2 million ring? $2 million ring. You're right. She had a $2 million ring. And then he sued her for $50 million. Didn't win. Mariah Carey sells ex-fiance engagement ring for $2 million. Oh no! Wait a minute. The ring was called the Sparkler. Is worth $10 million. Oh shit! That was it. It was a $10 million ring that she got from this guy, this sucker, this victim, this victim over here. He got his ass robbed. Like, you know, you can see them together over here. You know. Here, if I'm correct. Right. He got his ass robbed. 10 million. And then she sold it for 2 million. She don't need the money. She just want to fuck with you. Because they went to court for that ring. And he lost. And she got to keep the ring. And then out of spite, you know, Mariah and James split. Out of spite, trying to hurt this motherfucker. She sold your shit for 2 million, knowing it's worth 10 million. That's just horrible. Also, what's his name again? Tiger Woods. Here. Ex-wife demolished their house. This is the house that it used, looked like. This what it used to look like, and this is it when she was done with the house. Come on, man, why would you do that? Why would you do that? In the divorce, she took the house. She got the house for free. She never worked for it a day in her life. She got the house, but you know he so-called cheated on so-called. That's not fucking existing. But anyway, this is Esau's world, so hey. But yeah, this was the house before, and this is the house after she got done with her wrath. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? She knows definitely that she's not worth that house. It's not her house, but she got it through the government. And then therefore, hey, she did it to mess with him, you know, to break him. And the house was $12 million, and the ring was $10 million. Shit, that ring was almost as expensive as this house, man. Shit, that's crazy. But anyway, these females know that they don't deserve that shit, but according to them, they do so, and according to Esau, they do too. So hey, it's their world, right? Once that time comes, Anyway, let me go back to where I was. Which is, yeah, don't be over righteous. And going back to over here, right? So don't be over righteous with this too much. This also. But with this, it's not really over righteous because it's just one day no oil. And your body has natural oils anyway. So if you just walk the streets, you're going to get that oil in your face eventually. And the perfumes, I never put perfumes anyway, so it's very easy for me. But the oxal spray, you know, for your oxals, you can use, well, you know, sometimes you do stink, but the perfume is just too much. The roller, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, not the oxal spray. The roller, it can actually keep your stinking ass smell from out of their noses, you know. So yeah, hey. But like I said, don't be over righteous. If you go into the job, just don't worry 200% much. Okay, going on. Engaging in sexual activities. That's 100% no. This is 100% no. It's not even trying to be over righteous. You're not supposed to have sex on the Day of Atonement, and you're not supposed to be eating and drinking on the Day of Atonement. That's 100% because that's afflicting yourself. This is afflicting yourself too. Right, this is afflicting yourself also. So this is easier. Could be hard because of the job and stuff like that. You don't want to smell messed up on your job. You know, you might have a a so-called sophisticated job, and then you go there and the boss, you are around very important clients and stuff like that. You smell like yesterday, 2 days ago. No, no, no. Then we pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. Now comes the grace. now we pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. Please forgive me for this. I can't do anything anywhere else. So So yeah, that part. And about the sexual activities. Okay, so now there's a scripture for that. Let me see what's here. Oh yeah, already did this. Yeah. Right. There's a scripture for that. That scripture is here. Exodus 19:9. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud. This is about the sex. And also, here it also says that deny yourself from pleasure, which sex is pleasure. But then you can go again. Well, food is pleasure. So are you not supposed to eat on the Sabbath? Well, you shouldn't be having food as pleasure. So that's also a sin unto yourself, actually. Not a sin according to the scriptures. But excessive meat, for example. The book of Sirach 37, verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. Surfeiting cause someone to desire no more of something as a result of having consumed or done it to excess. Basically, you're overfeeding yourself, right? Consume too much of something, right? And consuming too much will turn into a choler. What is a choler? Bodily humors, and you're just gonna get messed up in your body. Bile, anger, let me see. Food, biblical. What's the definition? Biblical choler. Yellow bile. Unfriendly, unfavorable. No. Biblical meaning, biblical definition. Bile. Used in disease and chlorella. Here, Sirach 31, 20, 37, 30. Sense of bitterness. You're not going to be doing that good. Yellow-green fluid produced by the liver of most vertebrates that aids the digestion of lipids in the small intestines. So basically, you're going to get messed up if you do that. If you eat too crazy. So it's good for you anyway to not eat too much in the first place. Right. So you might say, hey, food is a pleasure. Well, it is if you eat too much. It's not good, but that doesn't mean you should starve to death on every Sabbath. But if you want to, you can do fasting on every Sabbath if you want to, if you feel like it. Because it's also cleansing the body, the soul. It's also afflicting your body and then death for your soul. It's purifying your soul, right? So yeah, basically all things that you have pleasure in on the Sabbath, you shouldn't do that. So, but sex is 100% one of those things, and you should not be doing that on the Sabbath, my man. So let me read on. Right. So it says that the people may hear, Exodus 19 and the rest of 9, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. Okay, wash your clothing, okay. And be ready against the third day. For the third day, Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount, which is the mountain, shall be surely put to death. Woo! That's scary. Verse 13. there shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through with an arrow. Whether it be beast or man, no mercy. It shall not live. You gonna die that day. When the trumpet sounded long, they shall come up to the mount, where the bounds are, like a railing, like for example, Grand Canyon bounds. You have the Grand Canyon tourist place. Yeah, bound like this, this is dangerous. I mean this is the bound here, for example, that you don't fall off. I think Niagara Falls has it too. Sorry, Niagara Falls has it too. I think so, if I'm correct. Yeah, here, the bounds, so that you don't fall off. Right. Verse 14. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, because he was allowed there, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives, so don't have sex. So when the Lord comes in your sight, in your presence, when you do spiritual things, you're not supposed to have sex. And when you're trying to pray. Also, when you're doing exorcisms, in the book of Luke 17, if I'm correct. Luke 17:15, if I'm correct, man. Let me see, 17:15. You know what? Okay, 17:21. This was talking about, it's also in the book of Luke. Praying fast, pray fast. Pray fast. Luke 5. No. Mark chapter 9 verse, let me see. (27) 25. When Yahushua saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, thou dumb and deaf spirit. So a person that is dumb is a person that is unable to speak, and a person that is deaf is unable to hear. So you have actual demons, foul spirits, that will make you dumb. You can't speak. Or that will make you deaf. You can't hear. That's a demon did that. He's on you. He possesses you. I charge them, come out of him and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried. He was screaming, ah! And rent him sore. He was violently, right? And came out of him. And he was as one dead, insomuch that many said, he's dead. He was just laying still. But Yahushua took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, his disciple asked him privately, why could we not cast him out? And Yahushua said, and he said unto them, this kind of demon, this kind can come forth by nothing other but by prayer and fasting. So, if you're full of food, you're not spiritual. That entity will never listen to you because you're not strong enough. But when you're weak in the physical form, and then you pray and fast, you keep on fasting. I mean, you're already empty your stomach, and you keep on praying and stuff like that. He's really like, hey, what's happening? This guy is strong, because you're not actually a carnal man. Then you're actually a spirit. Then you can beat them up, right? But don't go actually physically fighting MMA while not having a meal and stuff. That you're gonna run out of gas because now you're fighting physical. You need to fight spiritual against spiritual things and physical against physical things. And by the way, when you eat too much, what's gonna happen to you? You can't really fight because if you punch you one time, you're gonna throw up. That's why you can't go swimming and have a lot of food in your stomach, because it will mess up your balance in your stomach, and then therefore you will get a stomach ache. So certain things you do spiritual and certain things you do physical. And in this case, fasting on the Sabbath and also on the Day of Atonement. It's not necessary to fast on the Sabbath, by the way, if you want to. That's between you and the Lord, you know. But on the Day of Atonement, 100% you need to fast. That's a requirement. You know, there's nothing over righteous about that. That is what you need to do, 100%. Right. So you don't have sex because you're supposed to be holy when you present yourself before the Lord, or do spiritual things, which is fasting and prayer. Also, it says here in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it's also shows you that when you fast, you agree with your wife not to have sex. So this shows you that you're not supposed to have sex on the Day of Atonement, and also while you're fasting. You know, on the Sabbath, you don't have to fast, by the way. It's up to you. That's between you and the Lord. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. So what is that? The quality of being well, meaning kindness. You know, just be friendly to her. The wife had not power over her own body, but the husband. So the woman, she can't deny you sex. The man has power to be like, I want to have sex today. You got to go through that headache, baby. You got to go through that stomach ache, baby. And likewise also, the husband had not power over his own wife, but the man. Oh, I have a headache today, dear. I can't perform. Shut up. Since when do men say that? If he's a sodomite, he's going to say that to you, you know. But maybe he's tired coming from work. Well, just lay down, let her do her work. You're not the boss of yourself, right? Defraud ye not one another. So don't stab one another in the back. You know, don't defraud him or her. Except you. So there's a window where you can defraud one another, except it be with consent for a time. So only for a small window, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again. So you can say to your wife, like, listen, tomorrow, you know, I'm gonna be fasting. So you know, I'm gonna fast a whole day and maybe 2 days. No, actually 2 days I'm gonna fast. So let's make an agreement, and that 2 days we're not gonna have sex. And your wife can do that to you also, you know, with consent, of course. If you both agree on it, you'd be like, no, I've been stressing the whole week, and I haven't had sex for 7 days because I was on my period, and now you're going to prolong it to 9 days. I can't really, no, I don't want to do it, I want to do it. Then you'd be like, you know what? Okay, after the 7 days, when your period is done, then I'm going to hit that, I'm going to tap that ass on the 8th day, on the 9th day, I'm you know what I'm saying? So then you didn't have sex for 7 days. Me neither, by the way. So why you tripping? Anyway, the 8th day we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Get it breaking. And then the 9th day, I'm gonna go on my fast. You know, with consent and stuff like that. So don't defraud one another from having sex, right? That ye give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again. Why? That Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. Unable to voluntarily control retention of, well, in this case, sexual control. You not being under control over your own sex. Here, lacking self-restraint. So it's not necessarily about the urine and feces, even though it is your sexual organs, But yeah, this is not a sexual organ, by the way. That's not where that's not where you're supposed to put something in. Here is what you use, the dick in the puss, right? So that Satan doesn't actually tempt you because of your lack of control by being like, oh shit, my husband, you want to go on a fast? You want to go on a fast? You know what? I think your friend is free today. You know what? I think your neighbor is free today. You know what? Yeah, I think so too. And then they go off and do their little thing on the side. And you finna get smoked for that. But then, so Satan is gonna come in your head like, you know what? Why don't you go to his friend, or the neighbor? I mean, he's free. Shit, since your husband doesn't want to give you the time of the day, shit, fuck him then. That's what Satan jumps in your head doing stuff like that. Especially females. He doesn't give me the time of day. I felt lonely. Stuff like that. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 15. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahweh for his issue. So that's basically, if you read the chapter, it's going to another thing. And if a man's seed of copulation, which is his sperm, go out of him, bust a nut, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even. So on the Day of Atonement, you can't bust a nut because you're unclean. And every garment and every skin, on your wife's skin, whereunto is the seed of compilation, the nut, shall be washed with water and be unclean until the even. So when you have sex, you bust that nut, you're unclean and your wife is unclean. Now you might say, oh, we're going to have sex, but we both don't bust nuts. Come on, man. Really? You're still unclean. Well, it doesn't say it here, but just think about it. Like you're doing an act wherewith spirits are able to come. So you're unclean. The woman also with whom man shall lie with the seed of compilation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until the even. And this goes into period blood. She's also unclean. Now you might have certain females that are unclean on the Day of Atonement. Don't worry about that. Just keep the Day of Atonement and refrain from touching everything in the house, as you can read here for yourself, right? So don't worry about that too much. Don't be over righteous. Don't overdo it. Don't you forget it. Now here it says here, the book of Luke chapter 5 verse 30. But their scribes and Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, why do ye eat and drink with publicans and sinners? And Yahushua answering, said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they... What? No. Oh, yeah. I got it. They that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick do need a physician. And Yahushua is that physician. And the ones that don't think they don't need Yahushua, okay, you're good. You don't need me. You can go ahead and do your little thing. I come not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. Yeah, you're already doing good, so you don't need me. Right. You have the ones that think that they're righteous, and you have the ones that actually do keep the law. The Lord didn't really, he didn't really come to actually correct you, because you're already doing good. You go to the ones like the 100 sheep. If you have 100 sheep and 99 are in the barn and one just walked off, you're going to be more worried about the one that walked off into the midst of the lions and wolves and stuff like that. You're going to want to save him quicker than the other ones, because they're already good. We already got those, right? Verse 33. And they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often, right? And make prayers, and likewise the disciples of the Pharisees, but thine eat and drink. And he said unto them, can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast, while the bridegroom is with them? No, because they're partying. They're having fun. The bridegroom is right here, you know? So they don't need to mourn. But the days come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. Right, because then it's the morning time, which is what we are in right now. We are in the Day of Atonement. So now we fast and pray. So while you're doing your stuff and, there's no mourning and stuff like that, you could just be normal. Acts chapter 10, verse 30. And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour, and at the ninth hour I prayed in my house, which is the ninth hour, which is 3 o'clock after p.m. 1500. Actually, yeah. And behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing. The point of me reading this is to show you that when you fast and you pray, the Lord can hear you. He can hear you clearly. Because now you're talking to him on a spiritual level. Just like how when you was to go to do exorcism on a deaf and dumb a foul spirit. If you go to him having a 9-course meal, what's a 9-course meal, you might ask? What's a 9-course meal? This. If you went to him, your stomach full with this, you're not gonna make it, man. He's gonna whoop your ass. He's gonna do you something. He's gonna do you harm. All right. Even if you had a 5-course meal, even a little less, a little small, appetites and stuff like that, like 5-course meal. You got a little soup. You got a little stupid dessert. You got your entry. You should start with this. You got your salad because you think you're cute with it, and then you have your little appetizer at the end, if I'm correct, yeah. Or this one is at the end. I don't know. I never had this by the way, but I have seen it. I've seen it. You see the blood up in here too. Raw meat. You can clearly see that it's raw. But yeah, right. The Lord's gonna kill you if you do that on the Day of Atonement. And so will the entity when you go to exorcism. When you're gonna go do the exorcism, you're gonna find out that day. You're gonna find out that day. You need to starve yourself, fast actually. Well, it is starving, but fast yourself, fasting, and then you go to him and then you pray, right? But yeah. So this shows you also that he went to go pray and fast and pray, and then behold, a man stood before him, and then came the blessing upon him, because he was asking the Lord. That's the point of me showing you this. So I think I'm done. Now that means to show you that once you are in the Day of Atonement, you are not supposed to have sex. You're not supposed to pleasure yourselves. You're not supposed to do certain things upon the Day of Atonement, which you're. And you're supposed to make good with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai by fasting and praying, afflicting your souls, and not trying to actually beautify yourself upon the planet Earth for just one day. The bathing, if you finna go to work, I would bathe. I have to. If I would go outside, But if you are inside that day, it might be your lucky day, then I wouldn't do this. And brushing my teeth, I wouldn't do that neither. Because, when water comes in your mouth, and I don't want to drink water. So I wouldn't do this. But if I had to go outside, I would just have to do it, shit. That's another thing. But don't worry too much about all these things. For example, the perfume thing, don't worry too much about it. If you could, don't put it on your body, put it on your clothing, even though your armpits will stink, I would rather use a bath hauncher. I don't know how you call that. Bath hauncher. No. Oh yeah, what's hauncher? This thing. What? This thing. I would rather use this so that you can wipe the sweat off. So, if you don't want to put this thing. This thing, for example, right? So, by the way, this is what I use. I use the sensitive one, but they colored this blue now, but it's sensitive, meaning it doesn't have a lot of messed up things in it. Because this one time I used it, the normal one, I got bumps under my armpits, man. I never used that thing again. Actually, this one was out of stock, so I thought to myself, okay, let me just use this one then. And then I looked at it, and it says glycerine, but I called the people, and the people said, oh, it's a plant glycerine, so it's not pork. As you can see, a plant up on it too, bamboo, right? But it doesn't have pork in it, so yeah, right? So yeah, so you can do that. Yeah, that's about the perfume. The wearing of leather and any animal products. I don't really have that anyway. Animal products, I don't have that. But this basically goes into don't wear too fancy stuff, I would say. It does say it right here, but don't worry too much, 100% about that. Yahushua is covering us for that, so yeah, don't worry too much about that. And this is 100%, 100%, okay? And this is 100%. There's no left nor right with these two. This is 100%. This is how you afflict your soul, starting in the first place. And yeah, engaging in sexual activity, right? So, not even having sex or sucking one off, whatever you females do nowadays with your husbands. Not even that. Or right before you bust that nut, you just stop. Okay. Now we can go to work. No, you can't do that. And by the way, you can't work. But if you have to, of course, you need to go. But if you are free that day, then don't go like, I need the extra money today. You know what I'm saying? I'm missing money. Finna get to working. Right. At least I got something to do. The day goes by fast, and don't do that. Right, so there you have it. Yeah, sackcloth in the Bible, yeah, right. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. It took longer than I wanted, but shalom.